Hey, it's me. I'm back, and boy, do I have a lot to talk about. I've been indisposed for like the past 2.5 years or so, and I want to talk about at least a little bit on what I've been up to with in terms of like the past few years actually at this point. And one of the things that I've decided to do is I'm gonna make it official. I'm coming out of the closet. That's right. I've given it a lot of thought and a lot of foresight, and I've decided to come out of the closet and announce that I'm in the Navy now. And of course, in order for me to be in the Navy, I've had to go through boot camp. And I think it's interesting that it's like on movies or cartoons, boot camp has always been like yelling at you and shining your boots and just making life absolutely other hell for you because you're in the military now.
All right, come for brains. Show me exactly where your skivvies and running shoes go.
Sir, the recruit can't think while the drill instructor is hitting him on his head, sir!
You can't think while I'm giving you a few love taps? How the fuck are you going to fire your rifle when grenades are going off in your face? What the fuck are you even doing here?
Sir, I got lost on the way to college, sir!
And I want to talk about more about what actual boot camp was like because it's not what it's portrayed as in the movies. I mean, at least Navy boot camp isn't portrayed at all, and I have no idea why. It's very very peculiar, but I'm sure we'll get into that. Now, the lead up to my decision to join the Navy, that's not really important, but when I decided to join the Navy, they bust me out to the Great Lakes, and I get there, and then they sit you down. They tell you to shut up. They give you all your clothes, and you don't sleep. And then they put you all in this big freaking room, and I was like, I'm petty officer so and so, and I'm petty officer so and so, and I'm chief so and so, and we're gonna be your RDCs for the next 8 weeks, and you're gonna be a Navy sailor, and you're just sitting there like wide-eyed, like, oh my goodness, oh please do not kill me. And then they proceed to beat the ever-loving crap out of you. And like your first few weeks, that ain't bad, but then like you kind of just go through the motions, and it's basically everything that you see in like those boot camp prepared videos, except instead of being 17 minutes to discuss what goes on in MEPS, which spoiler alert, they just poke your butthole for a second. I'm just going to tell you all what happens in boot camp. Like the first week, you get there, you get all your shots, you get your peanut butter shot, that shit sucks, and then you go to do swim, and then you get beat right after. And then like a week later, your first aid. And a week after that, you do your Marlin Spike event. And then the week after that, you do your firefighting event. And then the week after that, you do your gas chamber event. And then the week after that, you do your freaking live fire. You do your live fire event. And then like the week after that, you do all your tests. And then the week after that, you do all your you do battle stations, which is like everything that you've learned so far just rolled all the way up into one. And you stay up for 24 hours on this mock battleship, and it's really freaking cool. Now, that's kind of the general boot camp-ish experience, but my boot camp was very interesting because when I got to the airport, they said, "Hey, if you're in JROTC or if you could play an instrument, sign this piece of paper." And I did both, so I did, and then they put me in a 900 division. Now, the interesting thing about a 900 division is that instead of being a group of 80 plus people in a division of 80 people, of 80 men, you're in an integrated division with both men and women, and every Friday you get to march on down to the drill hall, and you get to prepare for the graduation that they're going to have. And I was in the 900 division, so I played the bass drum, but there was also rifles, there was the flags, there was the choir, there was the staff. And so instead of getting yelled at for 4 hours on the Saturday, I was reenacting band camp. And I tell you what, it was awesome. It was so freaking cool to have this opportunity to just band out in boot camp in like probably the most least expected place that you could possibly ever imagine. It was freaking crazy. I didn't think that would happen, but it freaking did. I'm glad it did because it gave me a chance to breathe and kind of get my bearings and realize, maybe this isn't all too bad. Now, a lot of people have those crazy boot camp stories on where like one of their shipmates or one of their members of their platoon did something crazy, like maybe they graffitied on the walls and they got beat for 2 hours. Or I saw a video where like they did some, like they all snuck off and did had an orgy. That was weird. That was a weird video. I think I should find it. But our division didn't really do all of that because we will learn to follow simple freaking instructions. Like the hard part about boot camp is not necessarily getting yelled at. It's convincing people to follow simple instructions. Now, normally when you're in boot camp, you have what's called a brother division. But because we were 900, we didn't have brother div. We had cousin div. And cousin div, we thought, was their RDCs were extremely abusive because they would yell at them and scream at them and beat them for every little thing. But then I'm standing watch, and it's the morning watch, and I'm just standing there, staring at the door, hoping and praying that no one's gonna come in. They always come in. I don't know why, but I just sit there. I'm like, oh crap, please no one come in. Oh crap. And then someone comes in, and I salute, and they say, shut up. And of course, the cousin div ain't on the tow line, and so the RDC gives them 5 minutes. Come back, they're still not on the tow line. And the reason they weren't on the tow line was because one of them decided to secure the watch. Because in boot camp, you stand watch, to make sure nothing bad happens. And one of the members of their division decided he didn't want to do that. And so he secured the watch. Now, I'm not sure if you know anything about boot camp or about the military, but you can't exactly do that. Especially in boot camp. You can't secure the watch. You're a dumbass recruit. You can't secure the watch. Why would you think to secure the watch? And as I'm sitting there, standing watch, staring at the door, listening to the RDC just absolutely rip them a new one, I thought, I'm like, oh my goodness. They are not abusive. They are not being abused. 930 is just freaking retarded. The whole division is full of retards. And that is why this is happening. And so my biggest piece of advice for anyone deciding to go to boot camp is to not be retarded, is to do exactly what they tell you. They give you everything you need to succeed on the silver frickin' platter. Granted, it may be a little overt, but they give you everything you need to do to succeed. So there's nothing stopping you from succeeding. So don't be stupid, be a smarty. Don't be retarded. And follow the frickin' instructions. That's the biggest piece of advice I can ever give to anyone going through boot camp. Is just follow simple frickin' instructions. And it won't be that bad. But anyway, I know this video is a little bit more low tech than what I want to do. I'm a little indisposed. Obviously, I don't have all the resources I would usually use. I want to do more drawing stuff. But in the meantime, I do want to supply you with these more videos and talk about what I've been, where I've been, talk about what I plan to do, and talk about the crazy things I find. And so yeah, more videos always in the works. Hope you'll have a good rest of your day.